Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Ever catch yourself just glued to the screen, soaking up some amazing video, only to realize later on that nothing really changed? You're full of new info, but it's like you're trying to build a house with just blueprints, no tools?
You've hit on something for sure. It's a universal challenge. All this information overload, but no clear path to actually applying it. Easy to consume content, sure, but the real magic happens when we actually use that knowledge to get tangible results.
It's like that saying, right? Knowing a tomato is a fruit, that's knowledge. But wisdom, that's knowing not to put it in a fruit salad.
Exactly.
We're trying to avoid those metaphorical fruit salad mishaps in life, right? And speaking of avoiding mishaps, there's this really intriguing concept that I've been seeing more and more of, and it's about turning videos into, get this, wisdom.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Really speaks to a real need right now with learning.
Yeah.
I mean, we are just inundated with videos everywhere. But how much of it actually changes our behavior or helps us make any kind of real progress?
It's so true. I could spend all day, every day, consuming content from productivity gurus, and my inbox would still be a war zone.
That's the difference, acquiring information versus using it. We often think that knowing something is the same as being able to actually use it in real life.
So how does this video to wisdom thing even work? Is it just like making better summaries of videos or something?
It's got to go beyond just summarizing. The real key here is that it figures out advice that you can actually use, actionable advice that fits with what you are specifically trying to do. Let me give you an example. You provided some source material about a fascinating approach it's called video to wisdom. And this approach, it uses a special prompt, and that prompt is called actions for goal. Okay, so imagine watching, let's say, an Ali Abdaal video. And this video, it's about the book, The E-Myth Revisited. Now, usually a summary of that is going to focus on the main idea, right? So the idea that a lot of entrepreneurs, they fall into this trap of acting like a technician instead of, someone actually running a business.
Which makes sense. It's an easy trap to fall into, especially when you're working on something you're passionate about.
Oh, absolutely. But, and here's the thing, seeing that trap, knowing it exists, it's totally different from actually knowing how to avoid it, especially in your own life.
Okay, so we're talking about taking that general knowledge, yeah, and making it actually useful for me. I think I see where you're going with this.
Exactly. And that actions for goal prompt I mentioned, that's how it happens. Let's say, just as an example here, that you want to, I don't know, increase sales, boost the marketing for this new sauce product you're working on. You can take that Ali Abdaal video, apply the prompt, and bam, you get specific actions. Ones that line up perfectly with selling that product.
So instead of just getting the main idea from the video, this prompt helps me actually use it, for my sauce product to actually get more sales. Now you're speaking my language.
Exactly. The source material even gives us two very specific actions. It pulls them right from the video using this prompt, which is so cool. The first one, it's called Embrace the Triple Threat. And the idea is that you can't just be the tech whiz, you got to be the entrepreneur and manager too.
So it's about realizing that just because you have a great product, that doesn't mean it'll be successful on its own. You need those business skills, that strategic thinking to really get it out there, market it effectively.
Yes. And the second one they pulled out, this one is called Avoid the Infancy Trap. So you ready for this? This is about not getting so bogged down in the everyday, the nitty-gritty of the technical stuff that you forget about, like the bigger picture, growing your business strategically.
Which is really easy to do when you're like head over heels for the product itself. It's easy to get lost in the weeds and totally lose sight of the bigger picture.
Happens all the time. But when you highlight these actions, right, and you connect them to what you want, which in this case is better sales and marketing. Yeah.
It goes from interesting information to, oh, I need to call my team and set up a strategy meeting right now. It's a call to action is what it is.
Precisely. This is the heart of video to wisdom. It doesn't have those same limitations as regular summaries. It takes the info and makes it directly relevant to you.
Personalized learning, baby. I love it. So it's not even just about figuring out steps to take, but making sure those steps are perfect for my industry and my goals. It's like having a roadmap, but it's custom made just for me.
Exactly. Video to wisdom takes everything into account, your own unique situation, the things ordinary summaries can't do. This is about giving you the power to connect knowing something with actually doing something about it.
I love this. It's like, you know how it is, you can read a cookbook, but it's a whole different thing to have a personal chef be like, here are the exact recipes you need to reach your goals. Oh, and they use your favorite ingredients and fit your dietary needs.
Perfect analogy. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Going from passively taking in information to learning actively and with a purpose.
And that's what closes the gap. between knowing about something and using that knowledge to make actual progress.
You've got it. That's where the magic happens. To understand something intellectually is one thing, but to see it work in your own life, that's something else.
Specific, measurable, achievable, all that good stuff. And this whole actions for goal concept, it's like a perfect match for that. It gives you those concrete steps to actually move you closer to what you want to achieve.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And it goes even deeper than that. This actually ties into cognitive science as well.
Hmm.
When we really engage with information, right, and we connect it to things that are relevant to us, our own experiences, our goals, it's amazing how much better we understand and remember things.
Oh, tell me about it. It's like that aha moment, right? When you finally grasp something that was so confusing before and it just clicks because you can relate to it. That sticks with you so much more than just passively listening to something.
You got it. And that's what the Actions for Goal prompt does. It encourages that kind of aha moment. By making us think about how to use what we're learning, the information goes from being just an abstract concept to something real, something we can act on.
Mm.
And that makes it stick.
So it's not about cramming our brains with facts. It's about actually making that knowledge a part of how we do things, how we operate.
You got it. You got it. That connection between what we know and what we do, that's where the real learning, the real growth happens. It really shows what's possible with personalized learning these days. And as we wrap up our deep dive here, exploring how to turn just watching videos into actually using that information, I think the biggest thing to remember is this. It's not about cramming in as many videos as you can. It's about watching smarter, and then, here's the important part, doing something with what you've learned. Taking action is how we make progress, make real changes.
It's that feeling of finally putting all the pieces together, right? That aha moment when the big picture becomes clear. Today, we really dug into that struggle with just passively watching videos, talked about how regular summaries just don't cut it, and explored how powerful this video to wisdom concept can be. But more than anything, I hope everyone listening today feels like they can take charge of how they learn, that they can find those actionable takeaways and then actually use them to make a difference in their lives. That's what it's all about.
Beautifully said. The information is out there, the tools are changing every day. Now it's about learning with a purpose. Knowing what you want and going after it. And using what you learn to make it happen.